Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you guys are new. As you guys might have been able to tell, I came up with an entirely new concept for a video. Definitely subscribe to the channel if you guys like the style of content and also want to see more makeup artist tips, vlogs, and don't forget to like this video if you guys do end up liking this. I'm going to be going over the 10 different things that I have either A, witnessed makeup artists do, or B, had other people tell me that makeup artists have done that makes them not such a great makeup artist. I do have to make a couple of disclaimers because this is a more sensitive topic. Number one, I'm not calling out anybody specifically. I'm not mentioning anybody or names. Disclaimer number two is that if any of you guys do these things currently, please know that I'm not trying to make fun of you or bash you or anything. And disclaimer number three is that this is all my own opinions, so please take it with a grain of salt. The very first warning sign that your makeup artist is not a good makeup artist is that if they do not listen to your ideas. Sometimes the artists kind of just think they know best, and even though we as professionals do realistically know what would look best on a client, you still have to listen to the opinions and ideas of your client. If you don't agree with the style of makeup that the client wants, maybe say the look doesn't suit their eye shape or suit the color of their skin, that sort of thing, you mainly want to come to a compromise and kind of work together. You don't want to completely negate their idea. This is what I would do instead, or maybe instead of this, we could do this, or maybe use some of their idea and mesh it with yours to create an overall solidified look that works for the both of you. There is several different artists out there that just dismiss people's ideas and just kind of do what they want instead of doing what the client wants, and then of course wondering why the client is unhappy about it. Leading into this, some artists have not even asked what a client wants before, which I think is very, very wrong. A lot of the times when I go into my bridal trials, I'll have my clients pull at least 3 different photos that they like, and usually when I'm looking at the photos, all of them have something in common or the looks look very similar. Sometimes though, people will send me like 15 photos and it's a little bit overwhelming because all those are like different looks, but majority of the time they do resemble each other and have similar qualities, like say all of them are brown tone smoky eyes, or maybe all of them have neutral lipstick. This is why I personally like going over each and every 3 pictures that they send me in the bridal consultations before we even start with the application. I like to go over what they like and what they don't like about each photo. Sometimes people pick out photos for a specific reason. They don't pick it out just for the overall look. Say somebody picks out a look with a bold smoky eye and a red lipstick. Maybe they like the color of the red lipstick, but they don't actually like the smoky eye. And then as an artist, of course, we think they want smoky eye and red lipstick. Let me just replicate that. And they absolutely hate it because they did not want the smoky eye at all. So just make sure before you even start on the makeup application that you are going through each and every reference photo if you have your bride send that to you. It avoids a lot of miscommunication and a lot of confusion, and both of you get what you want. The other thing that I want to point out with this not listening thing and not consulting with you thing is that a lot of the times makeup artists that do not ever listen to clients' opinions, these are also the artists that usually aren't willing to make changes. A lot of the times they will take a really big offense to people that either don't like their work or want to change something about it. They honestly will get very, very defensive and very upset if you ask them to make changes. I don't understand why. If you're doing a bride for her bridal trial, you want to make sure that she 100% likes her look. If she wants to change something, change it. She is your client. She is the paying person. You're not paying for the look. She is. So whenever I'm going through an application, I always stop at certain points. So say I go to the eyebrows, stop. Make sure they like the eyebrows. And then I go maybe through a couple of different transition colors on the eyes. It's very easy to add color as opposed to remove it. So I always start off lighter and then ask the client if they want to go any darker. I want to make sure they are seeing their face at every single point in the process. It's a lot easier to make changes as you're going along rather than finishing the whole entire application and then them telling you that they don't like something. What's the point in the trial if you literally go through the whole entire step and are like, okay, do you like it? And they're almost like obligated to say yes at that point in time just because they probably feel bad to have you like redo your entire work. So that's why I always like to tell my brides to be completely open and honest with everything. If they don't like something, please say something. I'm not going to take offense to it, but I'm happy to correct anything they want me to or make any changes that they want me to. It is their day. It is their wedding. Warning sign number 2 does have to still do with the consultation process, but I think it's its own separate category. This is about not consulting with you about your skin or just skin concerns, things like that. I have gotten to a point where I can kind of judge people's skin based on how it feels, if I touch it, if it's dry, if it's oily, if it's obviously acne prone, that's very visual so you can see it. But a lot of the times it's really hard to know if a person does get oily throughout the day unless oil is like physically sitting on their skin at the time that you're trying to do the makeup application. So you really don't know how a person's skin type is. I did make a whole entire video over how to prep skin, by the way, so if you guys haven't checked out that video, I will be linking that up above for you guys. That goes over the different types of skin and also different products I recommend to combat each type of skin too. In that video, I did talk about this briefly, whereas you want to make sure that you consult with your clients about what type of skin they think they have, but a lot of of the times people really don't know. So please take it with a grain of salt. Don't 100% just go and trust people's judgment, because a lot of the times people have no idea what kind of skin type they have. You can also use your professional judgment too, but it's always nice to consult your clients and just ask them ahead of time. The one question that I always ask my brides personally is if they actually do tend to get oily throughout the day if they have makeup on, because that's a really good indication that I need to put a mattifying primer right down the center, or maybe set with powder a little bit more than I would normally. I also ask if people are allergic to anything, if I feel like they have more sensitive skin. Makeup artists, if they aren't that experienced, that usually is a question that kind of gets skipped over a little bit. That's what I wanted to bring up, and it's a very important thing to talk about with your clients. Warning sign number 3 that you know that you do not have a very good makeup artist is somebody who is not really well educated about their work. If you are just beginning as a makeup artist and are just getting practice, getting your feet wet and getting into the field, I completely understand that you're not going to have all the knowledge in the world to usually be able to answer people's questions. Most of the time people will know that you're beginning as a makeup artist because you maybe don't have a huge portfolio, your prices are a little bit lower, but I would just literally admit to them and be like, hey, I don't know this, but I would definitely be happy to look it up for you, or something like that. It's okay not to know things, but just don't give them false information or just make up something on the spot just to sound like you know something. That's also how you know though that you maybe don't have a very experienced makeup artist, or maybe one that's very bad and just doesn't care about educating themselves. Those are the people that you definitely want to call out. There's some makeup artists that have been in this game for more than 10 years, and I feel like at that point in time you're a pretty experienced makeup artist. There are people in that situation that are not educated at all, and they do not plan on continuing their education or learning any other things because they think they know it all. If you catch a person that has been doing this for 10 plus years, if you ask them questions maybe about their skin, about their makeup, and they can't back it up with some sort of educated answer, then I would be a little bit weary about the person that you hired. If they can't, that artist is either newer or they just don't care about their job, and in that case, run for the hills. The 4th warning sign, and I've heard this from a couple of different brides now, that their bridal trials haven't gone super well. It's almost like this mentality when, for some odd reason, if we're not sure how the makeup's turning out or we're really nervous or something, it's like we almost try to like reassure ourselves by reassuring the clients, but we do it verbally. If maybe the eyeshadow is not blending out right or something, they'll be like, oh my gosh, I really love this look. This is turning out really good. I like these colors. I guess reassure themselves that it's going to turn out okay or things are fine, and to not put them in like full-blown panic mode, because it is a very nerve-wracking thing as a makeup artist. And I have been in this situation before. It happened all the time when I first began as a makeup artist. When you know that something's not turning out to the best that it possibly can, comment down below if everybody else does that too. But yeah, just I guess look out for the people that kind of overly hype up their work, or just maybe are overly confident or egotistical or something about their work and maybe talk about how good they are all the time, because all the artists that I've ever heard talk about that don't really have the greatest of work. Okay, warning sign number 5, and this is one that I am going to highly stress. Be aware of the makeup artists that don't have any experience whatsoever. You realistically should have some sort of like professional experience. I feel like you can't really call yourself a professional makeup artist if you don't have any professional training. And by professional experience, I don't necessarily mean just having a license like going to cosmetology school and going for aesthetics, because I have neither. I didn't go to beauty school or anything, but I do have a few years working at MAC. I did get trained by somebody who has over 15 years of experience in the makeup artist industry, taught us all about sanitation, eye shapes, how to match foundation, things like that, pretty much like a mini makeup academy. Then of course I decided to obtain my official makeup artist certification last year from the Online Makeup Academy. If you guys have not checked out that video, definitely go ahead and check out my review video. I'll be linking it up above here. My discount code, by the way, is still available. I believe they said that it was valid for the end of this year, and I'll have all the information down below if you guys are interested. So as long as you guys are continuing to further your education and get some sort of professional experience, again, there's a very fine line between that, but I feel like you can't really call yourself a professional if you don't have some sort of professional experience. Warning sign number 6, and this is maybe not its own thing, but I just included it as number 6 apparently on my notes. Just anyone who isn't willing to take criticism in general. This honestly usually happens with people who have like a decent amount of experience, or people that maybe have like a more like old school way of thinking. I feel like those people are kind of set in like the old days of doing makeup, and maybe they only have one certain makeup style. A lot of the times though, when you get old school makeup artists, they don't really want to change or adapt to the times because they think their ways is best because they've been doing it for a while. I feel like as a artist myself, if somebody has a better way of doing things, I am all open for that. I don't think my way is the best way. I do have methods that work best for me, but if somebody has an easier way of doing a winged eyeliner than me, then by all means, go ahead and tell me, because I'm all about learning. I feel like it's very important as artists to be very open and receptive, especially if other artists are trying to give you feedback or if they're trying to give you a little bit of helpful criticism. Warning sign number 7 is that people that are priced too low. And again, I am not speaking about the people that are just beginning in makeup artistry, because as we all know, you have to price yourself lower when you first begin as an artist. I'm talking about the people who have a decent amount of experience or are really good as makeup artists and purposely undercut themselves or purposely charge lower than the average in their areas because they're trying to get more clients. It's not a disservice to your clients because obviously they're benefiting from this because they're getting a really great makeup artist, but they're getting it at a lower cost. It's pretty much like the Walmart logic if you think about it. You price yourself really, really low just to get more clients. It definitely works against you as an artist in the future because whenever you try to raise your prices, it doesn't work so well. This also hurts artists that actually are charging what they need to be charging because they're not getting the clients they should be getting. That client's like, well, I could get this person for this price, or I could pay a really high price for this person, and I can't tell a difference between their work, so of course I'm gonna go with the cheaper option. Like, who wouldn't? So if you are an artist that has been doing this for a while and you know that you're charging lower or doing it on purpose just to gain clients, please know that is not helping anybody except for the clients. Warning sign number 8 is that you look at an artist's portfolio and they do not have a wide range of skin tones or age ranges on their portfolio. This is a serious problem, I want to say, especially in my area, but I will say there is a lot more Caucasian people that hire me to do makeup as opposed to darker skin people or tan skin people, but I have had several different Asian brides in the past, and I feel like I'm pretty well known for being pretty diverse with my type of clientele that I have and the fact that I can do a wide variety of skin tones. Don't want to call anybody out, but there's a lot of people, especially in my area, that think they could do makeup on deeper complexions, and they definitely cannot. But a lot of the times people are like, yep, I can do all skin tones, and then you look at their portfolio and that darker skin tone person is really ashy because they can't match foundations, or the eyeshadows just disappear because they can't figure out how to do it on deeper skin tones. It's just a serious problem. The other thing that I see a lot of the times is people that can't do makeup on Asian eye shapes that think they really can. So a lot of the times when brides are Asian and they're looking for makeup artists, they find me and also hire me because I am Asian and know how the skin tone works and also how the eye shape works too. If you are somebody who feels like you do struggle with certain skin tones or different age ranges too, because I know a lot of people struggle with mature skin, if you feel like you struggle in those areas, pull models aside. Do makeup on them for free until you literally get really good at every single skin tone at every single age range. Then you can start posting all of those models on your portfolio so people can see that you can do everything. Just so you have a portfolio that is very well-rounded. Number 9, and I know we can all get behind this, people that don't have good hygiene practices is definitely a warning sign. I have witnessed several different times where makeup artists either got trained wrong in cosmetology school or just got trained wrong in general or just didn't bother getting trained. At this point in time, there's so much information out there on the internet about hygiene practices, and I feel like if you've been in the makeup artist game for a while and you don't know how to hygienically sanitize things, that's just one thing that really bothers me, guys. That is honestly just at that point in time having respect for your clients and respect for the fact that you don't want them to get any sort of infections or any sort of diseases. I mean, you can spread anything through bodily fluids like pink eye, cold sores. I'm not even gonna get into it, but honestly, you can just spread all sorts of diseases to people that obviously aren't visual and they're just, you know, going to go into your fluids and just be undetectable for some odd years. It's so dangerous to not be hygienic. So that's why you always want to make sure that you are hygienic. I did do a whole entire video over how to sanitize things and how to be hygienic. So if you guys have not checked that out, please go ahead and check that out. So yeah, just be aware of those makeup artists that don't have good hygiene practices. Warning sign number 10, and I probably don't even have to talk about this that much, but if the makeup look just turns out really bad, that's a sign that your makeup artist is not doing a good job. If a person has been doing makeup for a very long time and their makeup still doesn't look good, as an artist though, I do kind of nitpick and critique other people's work. I know that mine, again, is not perfect. This usually happens though if I'm looking at another person's portfolio, say on Instagram or something, or maybe if that person had their makeup done by another artist, I can kind of just tell if things didn't get blended out correctly or if something can be tweaked a little bit. However, I'm talking about the people that their work is like blatantly bad. I mean, it's like universally bad. Those are the kind of artists that I'm talking about. The ones that just think they're really hot shit and hype themselves up all the time because they think they actually really amazing work. Like, are you seeing the same thing that I'm seeing, or do you see something different? Because I'm just not quite sure how they think that was good. I'm always improving my work. It's not perfect. I get it. Like, there's probably times where people look at my portfolio too and are like, yeah, I probably would have blended it out more, or maybe if she had done this instead of this, then that could have made it look better. I totally get that. Like, I'm not perfect. So anyways, I am now done ranting. So if you guys enjoyed this video, definitely go ahead and give me a big thumbs up, as I mentioned before. Subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment down below about how you guys feel about what I mentioned in the video. If you guys have any other things to add, definitely comment those below. As always, I hope you guys have a fantastic day, and I will talk to you guys in my next video. All right, bye.